we're talking about I am.
Amen.
We'll pick out 7 I ams in the book of John. We'll go over it tonight. Jesus did not have a beginning like us. When he came to the earth, he was born. But prior to that, he was with God. He always has been. He is the eternal Son of God. What a magnificent occasion when deity invaded humanity and eternity invaded time.
Yeah.
It's hard to grasp that God and Jesus have always been and always will be. Man can't understand it, so therefore, why can they? It's hard for them to believe it. Things that you can't rationalize, things that you can't understand, sometimes it's hard to believe them. And that's man's problem today, one of man's problems. One day the Bible tells us in Romans chapter 14 and verse 11, for it is written, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to God.
Amen.
The scary thing is that then it will be too late.
Yeah.
Then, after they've spent their life living, if not for God, for the devil, then it'll be too late. Pastor Long made a statement this morning. He said, you know, he'd been with people that were devout atheists even until their dying day. But the moment they stepped into after they took their last breath, the moment they stepped into eternity, they were believers.
Amen.
And heaven's full of believers, but hell is also full of believers that wish they would have done something different.
Yes.
And Jesus was talking here, and he said, I am the bread of life in verse 35. Jesus is all that we need to make it to heaven. We don't need anything else. We don't need anybody else. We don't need to do anything else. Just go through Him. He was telling those around Him that if they would come to Him, they would never hunger and never thirst. And as He said that, they probably were thinking, well, I don't see any bread with you. You don't have anything to drink. They were thinking in a physical sense, but He was talking to them in a spiritual sense.
There you go.
Sometimes we make things too hard for ourselves to understand because, you know what, the Bible, when we read it, we sometimes think, well, how can we physically do that? Well, maybe God was talking to us in a spiritual sense to try and get us on track. They, as well as us, would find it hard to believe that one man can give us that. He said, I am the bread of life, life having and life giving. He that cometh to me and believeth shall never hunger, never thirst, and your thirst will be satisfied, you'll be happy forever. We all know people that don't know Jesus. We all know people that don't care about church, don't care about Christianity, don't care about the Bible. And the sad part about it is, if they only would believe, their life would be so much better.
Amen.
Where do people go to when they have a need in their life, a need in their family, when they need something from God? Where do they go? Because we can't do it on our own. Now, some people think they have all that. You ever been around somebody that had an answer for everything?
Thought they did.
Yeah, thought they did. Man, they had an answer for everything. And sometimes I wonder to myself, well, if it was only that easy, if we ourselves could make it to heaven on our own. When we truly find Jesus, we'll be satisfied. You'll realize that you need nothing else. Jesus is the one that said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. We need to put our faith and trust in Him. I don't believe it for a second that Jesus will lead you down the wrong road. The question is, will we completely follow Him?
Yeah. Man.
We we read the Bible and the things that we agree with, the things that we like, we really kind of hold on to those.
Yeah.
But some of those things that, I kind of like to do this, but the Bible's kind of gray about it. But so it doesn't really say that we shouldn't. This morning I said, when we were talking in class, I said, we're talking about things that you have to do, that if you're willing to do without them, if you're willing to sacrifice, make a sacrifice and do that. I said, as a Christian, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to do without some things. You're going to have to not go some places. I remember when I was growing up, the pastor went, oh, not Pastor Long, Pastor Messer, and a couple other pastors over there. It was sinful to wear shorts. It was a sin. And I asked the class this morning, and I kind of caught them off guard. I said, do you think I'm compromising when we have a youth activity and I let you wear shorts? They just kind of looked at me. And I said, how many of you in here own a pair of shorts? All the hands went up. And I said, I have 3 pairs of shorts. I have 2 pairs of gym shorts and another pair of plaid shorts. But I don't look real well in shorts. I have this fluorescent tone in my legs. And so therefore, I look better with clothes. But I can remember growing up, it was wrong to wear shorts. I said, you know what? I said, we can be hard-nosed here. I said, but you know what? Some of you are not going to agree with me. So I said, I figured we'd meet you halfway. Now, if I just said you can wear whatever shorts you want, I said, oh man, we might have to get out the tape measure.
That's right.
I said, so you know what we did? We've met halfway. We've agreed to disagree on something, you know, and we've met halfway. As long as your shorts are to your knees, I don't have a problem with it, because I know to be modest.
Yeah.
Then I said, there's been some in the church that have all, in times past, have offered their house, they had a pool, for a pool party. And I said, and they kind of looked at me, and I said, but I declined. Because I said, I don't know very many, if any, bathing suits that are modest.
That's right.
And I said, so, you know what? I said, but how many of you like to swim? And, you know, the hands wanted to go up, but after the statement I made about not being modest, not very many hands went up. And I said, you know what? You're going to go swimming. I said, the fact that you're going swimming is not wrong.
Right.
I said, but you know what? You need to be modest. You may have to sacrifice a little bit for God. Well, Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Number 2, he said, I am the light of the world. Turn over to chapter 8. John, right there in John, chapter 8, verse 12. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Now look over to chapter 9, verse 5. Basically, we stated the same thing. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world.
Yeah.
He that followeth me shall in no wise walk in darkness, in ignorance, and wickedness, and misery, but shall have the light of life that closely, humbly, steadily follows me. Shall have the divine light continually shining on him, diffusing over his soul knowledge, holiness, joy, till he is guided by the life everlasting. Bad things happen in darkness.
Right.
As I mentioned this morning, I was with the police Friday night, and the guy I usually ride with, he says, nothing exciting happens till after midnight. So I talked to him, I said, well, I'll be there at 9 and I'll probably stay till about 3. Shafter folds up about 10. Nothing exciting happens. But you know what? The things that were happening, that were going on, it was probably easier for some of these because it was dark. They couldn't be seen. Jesus will lead us in the path of righteousness for his name's sake, according to Psalms 23:3. And in the New Testament, the darkness represented sinful things, and the light represented godly things or good things. When it said light, you know, when it said light, it was talking about heaven. Sometimes when it said dark, it was talking about hell or eternal hell. And it's same today. Most crimes happen at night where they can't be seen as easy. Before you came to Christ, you were living foolishly and were ignorant of the Word and the ways of Christ. Now that you found him, can you imagine a life without him? Can you imagine trying to do things on your own? Can you imagine trying to walk down this road and make it by yourself? Can you imagine going through life and having all the things that we have to face and making it on our own? If you have any questions in your heart and mind. You need to get things straight before it's too late. Jesus said in John chapter 10, we're just going to go through the book of John here, chapter 10, verse 7, he says, Then Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. And jump down to verse 9, he said, I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. If anyone or as a sheep enter in through faith, shall be safe from the wolf and from the shepherds that are not leading the sheep in the right direction, and shall go in and out, and shall continually attend on the sheep whom I have sent, and he shall find pasture or food for his soul in all circumstances. Jesus is the way. Jesus said, I am the door. There's only one door to Jesus. Jesus is truly the way, the truth, and the life, according to John chapter 14 and verse 6. Jesus is the only way that we'll find God. I don't care what Oprah says. I don't care what some professor in college says. I don't care what some pastor that's on the wrong, that's teaching out of a different Bible says. Jesus is the only way.
Amen.
Jesus is the only way that we're going to find God.
Amen.
If you think you can work yourself to heaven, well, go ahead and work. You'll be sadly mistaken. And you know what? It doesn't really. If you think that you're going to be good enough to get into heaven, man, most of us would be in sad shape. I know I'd be in trouble. I thank God every day that He is, that even though when I was trying to do things on my own there in my latter teen years and right before I got married, I thank God that He had His hand upon my life and was watching me and led me and still was trying to lead me even though I was stubborn. I thank God that He watched over me.
Amen.
I don't care what you've been taught in the past. You know what I've been taught right. If it was a man's opinion, that's all it was. It was an opinion. And everybody has them. They're kind of like armpits. Everybody has them, and some of them stink. But you know what? We need to understand and realize what that says, the Word of God, and what God tells us, and what the Bible tells us, and how the Bible is trying, and how God is trying to use His Word to lead us and to guide us. You can think what you want, and if it's wrong, you'll be sorry.
Amen.
We need to see what the Bible says. You know what? If we go on what a man says and he's not correct, you may miss heaven.
Right.
And I know that sometimes you put people on pedestals, but you know what? When you do that, and then they fall off that pedestal, or they get pushed off that pedestal, or whatever, then you know what happens? We tend to be discouraged and get frustrated. God is the only one that can truly set on a pedestal. Are you there in chapter 10? Look at verse 11. Jesus said, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. Look at verse 14. I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of them, and am known of mine. Jesus is the good shepherd. Jesus, He uses us as sheep. I think only the dumb animal that was a little bit more dumb may have been a turkey. I'm glad He went with sheep instead of turkey.
Yeah.
But He said, you know what? He said, I am the good shepherd, and I know my sheep, and they know me. And they hear my voice. I don't know if you've ever worked with any type of livestock. We had, when I was growing up, we had a bull. His name was Leroy. And he would come, he was the biggest animal I think I'd ever seen in my life at that time. And he would come up to my uncle, to my great uncle, and he'd go right for his pocket. Because he knew that my uncle on it only had bib overalls. That's all I ever wore. I don't think the man owned a pair of pants. Anyways, he'd always go for the pocket because my uncle would walk out and he had pellets in his pocket, or hay cubes like they have out here. And he knew that. And he could call him, and Leroy could be out in the field somewhere, and as soon as my uncle said something, he'd turn his head and look. He recognized his voice. Kind of like some of you. You may have an obedient dog. And whenever you say something to that dog, hears your voice. My dog's not real obedient. Whenever Melissa goes out, we had this, I don't know, probably 110 pound German Shepherd. She wants Melissa to sit down so she could sit on her lap. I told her when she was little, I said, you know what, you're starting something here that's not good. And sure enough, whenever Melissa goes in, and you know what happens in the summertime? They shake. And there's hair everywhere. And the last time I took her to the vet, I'm not sure if Nolan's in there or not. Whenever she gets nervous with the fireworks, the hair you can watch, the lights are behind her, the hair just kind of shoots off of her. It kind of shoots off of her. And the last time we went to the vet, by the time we got there, I had a full head of hair, a full mustache. And I walked in there, and I'm walking up to the vet, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, and if you have dark clothes on, you can see it. And you know what, when we got to the door, this big old dog is a big sissy when it comes. There must be a smell there, a sound that they put out. You get her to the door and she don't want to go in. She don't want to go in, and I'm having to drag her in. Once we get in, I see all these other dogs and they're, oh man. But you know, they're calm. For some reason they're calm there. I don't know why. It was Nolan. We were coming back from the vet. She had been, we got her spayed, and Dr. Edick, if you know him, he said, well, let me take a look at the stitches. He got right down on the floor and kind of slid under and looked at us. Yep, she's doing okay, she'll be fine. I thought, wow, that was different. And then we drove her back to the car. We got her in the truck. I had this little Nissan pickup and had a sliding window. And I told Nolan, I said, just hold on to her chain because she'd jump out of the vehicle, I would imagine. And so we did. Well, then she decided she wanted to be in that cab with us. and I'm trying to drive, and I said, push her back. He said, I can't. And the hair is just flying. I said, push her back. And he said, I can't. I said, well, do something. Shut the window. I can't. She's got her head stuck halfway through it. I can't. She's not a very obedient dog. I'm glad that Jesus is the good shepherd.
Yeah.
Because his sheep know his voice.
Yeah.
Jesus gave his life for his sheep. We are the sheep that he's talking about. And he unselfishly gave his life for you and for me. You've read the story. You've heard the story. He didn't fight him. He didn't call him bad names. He didn't say, I'll get you. No, he just was humble and submissive. Verse 14, verse 14 that we just read, I know my sheep with a tender regard and special care and have known of mine with a holy confidence and affection. Jesus knows you as well as better than you know yourself.
Right.
And he says he knows the very number of hairs upon your head. I got all mine cut the other day. One of the kids in class said, hey, did you get a haircut? I said, yep, old. Jesus knows you better than you know yourself, and you're very special to him. When you feel like you're all alone, when you feel like nobody cares, when you're feeling sorry for yourself, remember, you know what? You're never going to be alone. If you have Jesus in your heart, Jesus is going to be right there with you every step of the way. Jesus is going to be right there with you when you're taking that test. If you study, don't just go in to take a test, not study anything, and then God's going to give you the answers, because it doesn't work. Believe me, I've been there, tried that, it didn't work. But Jesus is going to be there when you need him, and when you reach out to him, he's going to be there. He cares for you more than you could ever care for yourself. Number 5, we went along, we had a good time here. Look at chapter 11. John chapter 11, verse 25. Jesus said here, I am the resurrection, the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall live. Jesus is the resurrection. I am the resurrection of the dead and the life of the living. He that believeth on me, though he die, he shall have everlasting life. If Jesus wouldn't have rose from the grave, all of our faith and hope would be in vain. If Jesus wouldn't have did what he said he was going to do, what the Bible said, what the Old Testament even told us, if Jesus wouldn't have rose from the dead, everything would have been in vain.
Yeah, that's right.
Buddha died and still dead. Muhammad died and still dead. Allah died and he's still dead. Jesus is alive and well and sits at the right hand of the throne of God. And I don't know about you, but I'm glad that I don't serve a dead God.
Right.
I don't understand. We talked about this morning in Sunday school. My boss's boss is Muslim, and they don't eat any meat. They eat red meat, beef. They don't eat any pork at all. They don't eat any beef unless it's been sanctified by the Brotherhood or whatever the case is. I don't know the whole scenario. But I told the kids this morning. I said, you know what? We're lucky that we live in the land we live in, and we serve Jesus, and we go to this, go to a Bible-believing churches, because that he has 4 children, all in, and the oldest one's 12. And they'll never eat at McDonald's. They'll never have a Christmas. They'll never have an Easter. They'll never, all these things that they're missing out on because their father serves a dead God. It's sad. Well, number 6. Look at John 14:6. I think I quoted this one earlier. And we all know this part. Pretty much by heart. John 14:6. Jesus said unto them, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes unto me but by the Father. We can't sneak around the back door. We can't go into another entrance. We can't do anything other than go through Jesus. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. The question concerning the way, he has the answers. I am the way. The question concerning knowledge, he has the answer. I am the truth. And the question whether we will live, he said, I am the life.
Yes.
He's promised us those things. You don't need anything else. You're saved by grace through faith plus nothing. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8, for by grace are you saved through faith, and not of yourselves, it is the gift of God. I don't need to do anything else to receive salvation except go through Jesus.
Amen.
Now, as far as living that salvation or a life, a Christian life, there's some things I have to do.
Yes.
I have to put him first.
Yes.
I need to. He likes to hear from me, so I need to pray.
Yes.
I like to hear from him, so I need to read his word.
Yes.
Now, I've said it before in class and in youth group. I said, you know what? Maybe Jesus comes down and sits on the edge of your bed and talks to you. If so, you're special. Maybe a little bit more special than Mama says it, because he's never done that to me. But I said, you know what? But Jesus, the Holy Spirit bears witness with my spirit, and there's some things that I just understand. I use this illustration. I was going to go work for Washington State Prison, and I had a job, and Melissa was just getting ready to have Nolan. Nolan's birthday is this month. We'll sing happy birthday. Oh, we'll do it right now. No. But she was just getting ready to have Nolan. And I remember I went to my interview, and they said, Mr. Long, is there anything you'd like to add to this interview? I said, well, number 1, I said I'm a Christian. And I can't, number 2, I will not work on Sundays. And if this job requires me to work on Sundays, I'll have to decline it. And this job, the job I had and the job there was about double, plus the benefits and everything. And as I was saying that, I was saying, okay, God, here I go. And so and they said, okay, we appreciate your honesty. We'll be in touch. And a month went by, and you know the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And I called them about every other week. We talked to the specialist. Well, we'll let you know, Mr. Long. Kind of like the checks in the mail and everything. And I remember walking out from that interview to my truck. I said, well, God, I put you first. I stood up for you. What can you do for me? And so 2 months went by. I kept calling. Then we were on to the 3rd month, and I thought, well, I'm glad I stood up for you, God. I guess that wasn't your will. Because I asked him for a couple things. I said, this is what I need. I'm not going to work on Sunday. I need this much money to go. I need some benefits because they were expensive. When you're shot out like me, they're expensive. And I said, so, you know, and I'd like to work during the day. I remember it was about 3.5 months, and the phone rang, and they called me overhead, and I went to the office, and she said, Mr. Long, this is Mary Lou Jackson. She was the warehouse manager at the time. And she said, are you still interested in the job prison here? I said, oh yeah, because it was hot. It was about 100, 150 on the asphalt. I was outside every day. I said, yeah, I am. She said, well, I need to apologize to you. The reason that it was taking us so long is because we were trying to find a spot where you wouldn't have to work on Sunday. Because you said you don't work on Sunday. I said, okay. She said, so we found a spot for you. And I said, well, can I ask you? I said, and I had those 3 things. I said, so I don't have to work on Sunday. I prayed specifically. God, I don't have to work on Sunday. So there was an answer. I said, how much am I going to make? And she told me. It was way above what I asked God for. And I said, am I going to work during the day? And she said, yes. And I said, am I going to have insurance? And she said, yes. And at that time, it was $52 a month for our whole family to have insurance. We were paying what? $600, $700 a month. For $1,000 a month for insurance. I said, thank you, God. And she said, well, when can you start? I said, well, I'll give my notice as soon as I hang up. I can start like one of the day. But you know what? As I hung up the phone, and I remember this, it was so surreal. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. If you'll just follow me, I'll take care of you. That's right. I'll give you what you need, but I'll also give you some of the things you want.
Yeah.
I don't need anything else to receive salvation. I should want to come to church because of my salvation. I should want to witness because of my salvation. People that think that they can do something are sadly mistaken. You can't buy, steal, or barter your way into heaven. It's going to have to be for Jesus. Your mama isn't going to get you into heaven. It doesn't matter who your dad is. It's so comical when we pull somebody over, and I'll walk up on the passenger side, and the officer will walk up on the driver's side, and they'll say, you don't realize who my dad is. And it's a grown person, 35 years old. You don't realize who my dad is. And the officer will say, well, who is your dad? And they'll say, oh, I know him. He's a nice fellow. I bet you'd be real proud of that. I mean, you have your license, registration, and proof of insurance. Well, this ticket isn't going to stick. Oh, well, okay, that's fine. But as long as you make your court date, you tell the judge that. See if he knows your dad. Because see if he knows who your dad is and how much influence your dad has on the city or on people or the law, and we'll see what happens. And the whole time we're walking back, and I'll say, I can recognize him. I said, who is? Oh, he's just some fine one. I said, well, is he somebody? Well, they think he's somebody, and they think we're going to get out of this ticket because they think he's somebody. But you know what? We're not going to get out. They're not going to get out of that ticket because their dad's somebody. And you know what? We're not going to get to heaven because your dad's somebody. We're not going to get to heaven because your dad did this, or your dad does this, or you're not going to get to heaven because your dad makes this much money, or you make this much money, or you have this education. The only way we're going to make it to heaven is through Jesus Christ. Amen. Well, lastly, believe that? It's 10 till. I'm not done yet, but it's 10 till. Turn over to chapter 15. Well, right there. Jesus said, in verse 1, right there on my page, maybe you can turn over. Jesus said in chapter 15, verse 1, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Look at verse 5. That same chapter 15. I am the vine, and you are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, for without me ye can do nothing.
Yeah, right.
Those people that don't have Jesus in their life, you just read it. Those are the words of Jesus. You can do nothing. You can't do anything without God. Without Him, we can do nothing. The expression without me denotes the same as separated from me. As the branches if separated from the parent stock, could produce no fruit, would immediately wither and die. So Christians, if separate from Christ, they can do nothing. The expression is one, therefore, strongly implying dependence upon God. I'm dependent on Him.
Amen.
I'm dependent on Him to take care of me and my family. I'm dependent on Him to get me to heaven. I'm dependent on Him to see souls saved.
Yes.
I have an area. One of the preachers that have an area. I have a small area of 33 square blocks. I don't know what you guys have, but I only have that. Brother Oliver came over and brought Sister Joyce some nice flowers and and said, because what she's going through to get well, and he's praying for her. We talked, and he said, how many people do you have? How many families do you have on your list? And I said, 13. He said, well, how do I have 20? I said, well, Pastor Long, most likely you better be next week. And he said, well, how many areas do you have? I said, I have 33 square blocks. He said, I think I have like 10 miles. And I said, well, then you just got lucky. You got the lucky envelope with all that. He said, you know what? He said, the thing is, I don't know some of these people. I said, well, you're going to get to know them in the next 3 months. And he said, really? I said, oh, yeah. And then he was asking me, Melissa, who they were, and I told him who they were. We kind of told him where they sat in the church, because most of you sat about the same place.
Amen.
And I said, you'll get to know him. And he said, well, okay, whatever. I said, just consider yourself lucky, Brother Oliver. I like kind of leave him every chance I get. He and I and Brother Frank went to Lancaster with Pastor Long over there. And Brother Oliver, I don't know if you knew or not, he doesn't see very well. His glasses are ready at Walmart, he told us last week.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, he got it?
Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness.
He can see now.
Because as we were driving, Dad said, we're going to meet at this restaurant. He said, Carol's. That's what you said.
Good man.
And so we were driving down, I had it on my phone, and I told him what, and he couldn't read the street signs. He kept getting further and further away from Carol's. Finally we found it, and we're sitting there, and nobody else is in Carol's. And I said, and so finally we said, well, maybe we should call that old guy. Maybe he got lost or something, Pastor. And I said, I called him, I said, where are you at? He said, we're at Marie Callender's. I said, you are? I said, you told us Carol's. He said, no, I said Marie Callender's. And I said, didn't you tell us Carol's? He said, yeah. And so the waiter came up, I said, where is Marie Callender's? He said, right across the street. I said, you're kidding me. He said, no. So I said, well, you know what? We're meeting with the guy that's going to pay the bills, so we're going to hop over at Marie Callender's. We run across 4 lanes. I didn't want to do it, but Frank made me. And we get over there and we walk in, and there's a ton of people in Marie Callender's. I said, what are you guys doing? And I said, you said Carol's. He still said, you know, I said Marie Callender's. I said, Carol's, Marie Callender's, right? Is that even close? And I said, well, you know what? There's nobody at Carol's. Let's go back over there. And if you know Brother Oliver, he takes pictures of everything. And so he and I, and Brother Frank also, maybe go back across the 4 lanes, and Pastor Long and Jimmy are coming, and Pastor Long's kind of limping, and Brother Jimmy's kind of got a limp. And so as we get on the other side, Brother Oliver turns around and takes a picture of him. You legally crossing those 4 lanes. And I said, oh, that's a picture for Facebook. And as a lady drove by, she called out something. I don't think.
Sure.
No, she didn't obviously she could have looked at it because she's old. And Brother Jimmy's kind of got a limp, and I said, and we went back and we're on the sidewalk, and they're just now at the median in the middle, and I'm thinking, man, I hope he doesn't fall, because he's the guy who paid the bill. If he would have fallen, we'd have ran out there and said, Brother Long, give me your credit card. And then we got in there, and now the guy says, well, we're closing in 10 minutes. I said, well, what does that mean? He said, well, that means the cook is gone. You know. I said, well, we're just going to have pie. And one of us, not me or Brother Oliver or Brother Long or Jimmy, said, I'll have a strawberry shake, a piece of strawberry pie. I said, well, good thing the cook was gone, because God only knows what else we ordered. Then Brother Oliver looks at me and says, where's rhubarb? I said, just get it, you'll like it. Anyways, you know what? Jesus said, I am the true vine. And I like to have a good time. I mean, I like to have a good time. We're going to go to Pump It Up Friday. Man, I can't wait. I won't be able to walk. I won't be able to make church on Sunday. Because I'll be pretty beat up. So I'm going to take a couple guys with me. I guarantee it. But you know what? I like to have a good time. I like to have a good day. I told the kids this morning, you know, one of the reasons why we have things that we can go and do, outings and stuff, is so you can realize that, you know what? In Jesus, you can have a good time. We don't have to have drugs, have a good time. We don't have to have alcohol, have a good time. We don't have to have profanity and dirty movies and them on stress, have a good time. We can have a good time because Jesus is the true vine.
Yeah.
Well, in conclusion, I need thee every hour. That's all that came to my mind when I put this outline together. I need Jesus every hour, every day. The devil will try to tempt you to do wrong. The temptation is not a sin. It's when we give into that sin. But if you have Jesus in your life, He won't allow the devil to put on you more than you can bear. Sometimes it seems like it's a walk. Sometimes it seems like, man, I can't go any further. But you know what? You just keep a hold of the nail scarred name of Jesus and you'll make it. You'll make it. I'm so thankful and so glad that God loves me. And then when I fall, He picks me up.
Yeah.
And you know what? Whether you think it or not, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. Sometimes I allow my temper to get in the way, especially when I'm in the car. Sometimes I speak before I think. Sometimes I just do some stupid stuff. But I'm so glad that God is still there. He still knocks on my heart's door and says, hey, pal, you've done it. But I'm going to forgive you. And I'm going to try and help you not to make that same mistake next time. Stand together.